Welcome to our channel. I'm Erin.
And I am Lauren.
And today we thought we'd go over our favorite books from the year since the end of the year is fast approaching.
Too fast.
I know, I can't believe it. I feel like that's what everybody says in these videos. I can't believe it's here so fast.
Yeah. So one of my favorite books from the year is called The Hero's Guide to Saving Your Kingdom by Christopher Healy. It is a middle grade fantasy. It's got your classic fairy tales. There's Rapunzel, Cinderella, Snow White, and Sleeping Beauty. Did I say Sleeping Beauty?
I don't think so.
Well, it's got that too. And so it's from the point of view from the princes. And so it's just really funny how these princes, they think that they're these heroes and they just really aren't good at what they do. It was the type of book where I would be reading it and I laughed out loud. It was that funny.
Is that the book you kept trying to get me to read?
Yes, I've been trying to get everyone to read that book and nobody will read it.
It'll be on my December TBR. How about that?
Good. It's on Scribd.
I know.
Yep. I think I put it in your list.
You did?
Yep. It's so good. And there's two others. I haven't read those yet. But that's all.
The first book I want to talk about that I read this year is The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. I couldn't believe I'd read that this year. Feels like a long time ago, but this one's difficult to describe what it's about because it follows a bunch of different perspectives, but there's magic. It's really good. The end did the middle dragged a little bit, I felt like, but the end totally blew my mind, which Brandon Sanderson, that's kind of what he's known for.
Yeah, he's really good at that.
Yeah, so I loved this book.
Let's see, the next book this year that I really enjoyed, I actually just finished this one yesterday, is The Warded Man by Peter V. Brett. And this is one that we read for our November book club book. So this book follows three storylines, I guess. You've got Arlen, and okay, so this author, he spelled names kind of weird, but I think that they're kind of pronounced, I don't know.
Like phonetically?
Yeah, so I'm not sure how to pronounce everyone's names in this.
Give it a go.
But there was Arlen, and I want to say it's Alicia? I don't know. And then I'm not sure if this other guy is supposed to be Roger or if it's like Roger or something. It's R-O-J-E-R.
I kind of hope it's Roger.
That's what I always called him. I don't really like the name Roger, so
no offense if your name is Roger.
But so they live in a world where demons, the Corlings is what they're also called, they come out every night and you have to have certain wards around your house or like a circle to keep you safe. Otherwise, these demons they'll get you.
Oh no!
So it just follows these three people. Each of them, their lives have been impacted by the demons, and it just kind of shows how each of them how that changed their lives and based the decisions that they made on that. It was really good. Talk more about it for book club, but
I'm enjoying it so far.
It's really good.
Another book that I read this year that I've loved was Winnie the Pooh. I read all of them. I haven't read the poems. I think there's like one or two poem collections.
I didn't know that.
I haven't read those, but these are like adorable, and just the way that the characters think, it was so funny. So these are just really cute, a really easy read, so if you want to read them, I would highly recommend it.
So the very first book that we read for book club was Phantom of the Opera by Gaston Leroux. And I don't really know what I was expecting.
I don't know either.
When I read this book,
it was hilarious.
It was amazing. Oh my gosh.
I don't know if it was supposed to be funny, but it was.
I don't know if that was the point, but it was really good. And it's described on the back as like one of the first kind of detective fiction stories. But I don't know. I didn't really come off necessarily that way. But I don't
know. No, because like when you were reading it, the author already knew what had happened, so it's not like someone was trying to solve it. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't either.
Not a modern detective one, I guess.
No. But it was still really good. It's a lot different than the Andrew Lloyd Webber rendition, although I still had all of the songs stuck in my head while I was reading it.
Yeah.
So I also would highly recommend this one. And it was a really easy read, especially for a classic.
Oh yeah, super accessible.
Yeah, the writing style was good. So
good place to start with classics.
Yeah, definitely.
Although some people don't consider it a classic.
I do.
It's endured this long, so that kind of makes it a classic.
Right?
So the next book I have is Son of the Shadows by Juliet Marie Elliott. So this is the second one in the Seven Waters trilogy, and the first one follows a girl whose 7 brothers all get turned into swans. So then it follows her trying to break the curse. It's super good. They're historical fantasy. They're set over in Ireland, and so there's like fae and there's magic, and they're just really good. And this is the continuation of that.
Another one of my favorite books this year was The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin. And I haven't finished this trilogy yet. I'm hoping to have this finished by the end of the year. But honestly, the 5th season was so good that it really doesn't matter to me how the rest of the books turn out.
Sorry about that.
Am I boring you?
Apparently.
Anyway, this book, we've talked about it a little bit on our channel already. So this book follows 3 different perspectives as the world is ending. Dun dun dun.
Is that what you're going with?
Yeah, it's good.
So my last 2 favorite books, I don't have physical copies of, but I read House of Salt and Sorrow by Erin Craig, it's a 12 Dancing Princesses retelling, which everybody I watched on BookTube was like, I didn't know a lot about 12 Dancing Princesses, but like, haven't they seen the Barbie movie?
Right?
Come on. Anyways, so it follows these 12 sisters as they keep kind of like dying off one by one. And so the main character is trying to find out if it's from natural causes, because they all look like accidents or disease or something. So she's trying to find out if it's a natural cause, but she thinks that there's somebody out there trying to kill them off. It's pretty good. It was kind of creepy. Creepier than I expected.
It is high up on my TBR.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. Another one of my favorite books that I read this year is An Unkindness of Magicians by Kat Howard. This book is about, so there's a group of magicians, they're living in, if I remember correctly, it's New York City? Do you remember?
I think it's New York.
Yes. It says on the back, New York City.
It's good.
10 points for me today. But they're hidden in the world, obviously. But so like every 20 years or something. Yes. Oh my gosh. Look at me.
My gosh.
I'm on fire.
Yeah, you are.
Every 20 years they have what is called, see, I can't remember that.
I don't remember that either. I read it a year ago, though.
Oh, the Turning. So every 20 years they have what's called the Turning, where each house in this magic world, they have to fight over who's going to be in charge for the next 20 years. And so each house has a different magician that they have representing them, and it leads to a series of duels, and a lot of times these duels can end up being deadly. And so it just is about this new turning, and there's a girl that shows up and nobody knows where she came from or who she is, and it was really good. It was a really like fast-paced read too, because it just like
it got darker than I expected.
It did get really dark, but it was good. I really enjoyed it.
I like that one too.
And the ending was, it kind of left you wanting more. There was a lot of things that weren't finished up. And originally it was supposed to be a standalone, but Kat Howard is now writing a sequel to it. So I'm looking forward to that.
I like it as a standalone.
Yeah, it works as a standalone. I'm excited to see where the next one takes us and go back into that world.
So the last book on my list of favorites from this year was Serpent and Dove by Shelley Mahurin. This book follows 2 characters in 19th century France. One of them is a witch and one of them is a witch hunter, and they end up getting married. It was, like, the plot itself wasn't particularly groundbreaking, but I just thought the characters were hilarious. There was a couple times where I was just, like, cracking up because the witch, the main character, the female, she's like, I don't know, she's kind of crazy. But it was really funny. Yeah, so I enjoyed that book way more than I thought I was going to. I'm looking forward to the sequel.
It's not a standalone?
No, it's a duology. I think. I'm pretty sure it's just 2. Which, like, duology is my perfect series.
Right?
If it's not a standalone, then duology. That's perfect.
Right? Sometimes even trilogy's pushing it.
Yeah, I can't care for 3 books.
I don't care about them that long. My last book, and I haven't even finished this book yet. I'm that confident that I'm gonna love it, though, that it's going on this list.
Okay.
And that is The Lies of Locke Lamora by Scott Lynch. And so this book follows Locke Lamora, surprise, and his friend Jean. And it's a made-up world, but it's kind of like Venice.
Did you just call him Gene?
Oh my gosh, yes, I did. His name is not Gene. It's spelled Gene.
It's John.
I know.
Like
It was
Jean
an,
Valjean.
it was an accident. Okay. Log and John. His name's not on the front. He doesn't deserve to have it said right.
Oh, poor John.
Just kidding. He's great. I really like John. So, Locke, he is the leader of a band of thieves. And they're not just pickpockets. They're like thieves with a flair of drama. Locke is really good at coming up with just these incredible heists. But there's something else dark and secret brewing in the city, and it catches up with him, and it's really good. Okay, well, that is our favorite books from 2019. Comment down below with some of your favorite books of the year.
I feel so dumb saying that for, like, our 2 views. Because, like, we get 20 views, and let's be honest, probably, like, 18 they're, like, me and you. The other ones are parents.
Don't forget Phil. I make him watch it.
That's true.
Anyway, we will see you guys again soon. Bye.